everyone, James Numbers here, and welcome back to another episode of the Political Freedom Fighters Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be going over a couple of interesting stories that have actually been going on recently that I just stumbled across upon. Now, I don't know like way too much into detail about either of these stories, which is why I'm doing this episode, so that way I can go over the events with all of you guys and see, and you will all see my reaction, and you will all be able to see my reaction for yourself. So basically, this is all going to be raw, and I'm going to be learning about this, as always, along with all of you. So with that being said, the first thing that I would like to go over is this thing called squishy dumplings. And I've been seeing this on YouTube recently, and apparently what these squishy dumplings do, they're basically like squish toys, like one of those things where like people like usually like play with just to like calm their nerves and whatever. That's basically what the squishy dumplings are, and it's basically just like squishy versions of ends of like back like, do y'all remember the fidget spinners like back in like 2016, and how like through the fidget spinner over time we the fidget toy market ended up expanding by so much. That's basically where the squishy dumpling is. And yeah, there's been some big news about a recall for these specific products, mainly due to the chemicals that are being exposed, that are yeah. Basically what's been going on is apparently the squishy dumplings have officially been are starting to become recalled, basically due to some of the chemicals that people are being exposed to that are in the chemicals. And I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe it might have something to do with either the packaging or what the materials of the squishy dumplings are made of, potentially. But you know what? But you know what? Enough about me just rambling. Let's go over this together and see what's going on. I pulled up a few sources, and let me see if I can share my screen. Squishy dumplings. All right. Oh, okay, I don't like this. Alright, there we go. So, let's go over this together. What are squishy dumplings? Everything parents need to know. A few short weeks ago, I was picking up my daughter from dance class. Before she was even buckled into her booster, she started talking nonstop about something called a squishy dumpling. Yes, I know these dumplings have a face on it. Pretty weird, right? For a split second, I naively thought she had a culinary revelation and was suddenly ready to try a new dish for dinner. Silly mama. I paused, realized my foolishness, and asked, "A what?" She rambled from the back seat, chattering about how Sophia has a pink one, but she really wanted the glitter, and how Stella told her she'd trade for one she had a double of, and how Lacey said her mom took her shopping, but they were sold out. Oh, and how she, my daughter, really needs one. By the time we got home, I had heard about the real ones, RMS dumplings, and something about a golden version that sounded very important. Oh my god. Yeah, basically, trends like this do happen all the time. I remember back when I was a kid, silly bands was like a thing, which is basically just like a figure-shaped rubber bands that people would wear and trade. Yeah, yeah, so yeah, this is not these types of trends are not new. In fact, they're pretty old. And I think prior to silly bands, there was like Pokemon trading cards as well. I know because I do have some, so yeah. And I'm pretty sure people still do Pokemon card trading to this day, and they do all those cool things with like Pokemon card tournaments and whatever. And yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyways, back to dumplings. I nodded along like I understand, but as a mom who is not on TikTok, I had no idea what she was talking about. That night, I found myself going down a rabbit hole trying to figure out what these things even were and why they suddenly mattered so much. It felt like one of those toy trends that appear out of nowhere. One day, it's not on your radar at all, and the next, it's all your child can talk about. So I started digging in, trying to understand the hype before deciding whether this was something worth adding to our growing list of must-have toys. Here's what I have learned along the way. Alright, this one's worth $11.99. What exactly are squishy dumplings? First thing I learned, squishy dumplings aren't food. They're small, soft, sensory toys that fit comfortably in the palm of your hand. Most have adorable faces, bright colors, and a satisfying squishy texture that kids love squeezing. Like a pimple. Oh god, no. Part of what makes them so exciting is the mystery. Many squishy dumplings are sold in blind packaging, so children don't know which color they'll receive until they open it. Most packaging is blind packaging. Like, but I get what she means. Apparently, you're not going to be able to know what color you're going to order for this one, but still, most packaging is blind packaging. Just to make it clear. That surprise element has become a huge part of that fun. Some versions are common, while others are considered rare or harder to find. As with many collectible toys, discovering a favorite, or especially an uncommon one, is part of the appeal. Oh hey, look, this thing has glitter! Cool. Why are kids suddenly so obsessed? If this trend feels like it appeared out of nowhere, you're not imagining it. While we as parents may be more used to learning about how hot new toys through TV commercials or browsing our Target and Amazon apps, squishy dumplings have spread largely through kids themselves. And YouTube. Friends bring them to school, siblings show them off at home, and social media videos have helped fuel that excitement. There we go. For kids, these aren't just little squishy toys, they're collectibles. Children love opening mystery packages, hunting for favorite colors and characters, trading with friends, comparing collections, carrying them around as tiny desk pets or pocket companions. Many kids also enjoy the sensory experience. The soft, squeezable texture can be surprisingly satisfying. My kids use that word all the time. I mean, the word satisfying is often used a lot in our everyday lives, so I guess younger kids seem to be using this word much more particularly than previous generations. So at their age, so I guess that's what's going on. Making them fun to fidget with while reading, riding in the car, or relaxing at home. Who makes the real squishy dumplings? One thing that I had to figure out as my daughter pulled me into the dumpling craze was if there was a real brand, and if so, does it really matter? While there are tons of knockoffs everywhere online and in stores, where we live, I see mostly only knockoffs out and about. The real brand most children are talking about is RMS. You actually have no idea what RMS means for when in regards to this company. If you've heard your child say they want the real squishy dumplings, they're usually referring to RMS versions. Why does that matter? Kids often know which packaging their friends have, which versions belong to certain collections, and which ones are considered authentic. Just like trading cards, oh, there we go, trading cards, or collectible figures, the original brand often carries more excitement than lookalike versions. I guess that makes sense. Knockoffs can be cute, but prepare to be disappointed. Off-brand squishy dumpling safety concerns. Really? Apparently there have been some fake squishy dumplings that are being spread across the market already. So yeah, and people don't seem to be happy about it. As with any popular toy trend, it's important to purchase from reputable retailers, especially right now. Recently, there have been growing concerns about knockoff squishy dumplings and similar toys being sold online and through third-party marketplaces. Some of these imitation products may not meet established safety standards, and reports have surfaced about issues like poor quality materials, strong chemical odors, and inconsistent labeling. Now that right there, the strong chemical odors, that has made the news. Like that has actually legitimately like made the news. That's what I had been seeing in the past few days. We bought my daughter a knockoff a few weeks ago because it was all we could find and she wanted to play dumpling babies with her cousin. The face rubbed off within days. What? Oh my god! Wow, that's disturbing. And within a week, I started finding a weird jelly substance around her room. The dumpling was leaking around the seams of the plug. What? A leaky dumpling. Oh my god. I want you to imagine a freaking leaky dumpling. Like, out of context, out of context, some of us would be freaking the hell out right now. Like, seriously. I had a mess to clean up and felt silly about wasting the $5. And my daughter was sad as she had already fallen in love with and had a whole backstory for Bob the Blue Dumpling. Oh man, that's terrible. Because of this, it's more important than ever to stick with trusted brands and verified sellers. Authentic products from recognized manufacturers like RMS are more likely to follow proper safety and quality guidelines, including material testing and age recommendations. If you're shopping online, be cautious of listings that seem unusually cheap, lack clear branding, or have limited product details. I've been seeing lots of cheap and seemingly very cute versions on Amazon, Temu, and Shein. If it's not RMS, I wouldn't do it. Reading reviews and purchasing from well known retailers can help reduce the risk of receiving a questionable product. As always, check the manufacturer's recommended age and supervise younger children, especially if the toy contains small parts or isn't intended for toddlers. Are squishy dumplings worth it? It's easy to look at these tiny toys and wonder, really? This is what everyone is talking about? From a parent's perspective, they actually have quite a few things going for them. They're relatively affordable. Compared to many collectible toy crazes, squishy dumplings are a budget-friendly way for kids to start a collection. They encourage imaginative play. Kids often give their favorite dumplings names, personalities, and little backstories. Before long, they're creating tiny worlds and adventures for them. No batteries or screens required. Okay, yeah, that's always a plus. These simple toys are ready to play with anytime. There's nothing to change, there's nothing to charge, no app to download, and no complicated setup. They're easy to take anywhere, and their small sizes make them perfect for slipping into a backpack, purse, or travel bag. They can provide quiet entertainment during car rides, restaurant waits, appointments, or while reading at home. They satisfy the urge to collect. Many kids love the excitement of finding new characters, completing a series, or trading with friends. It's a hobby that can grow gradually over time instead of requiring one big purchase. At the end of the day, it's easy to see why they've become such a hit. They're cute, collectible, surprisingly portable, and offer a simple kind of play that's becoming harder to find in today's screen-filled world. Want to make sure you're buying the real thing? Before you shop, check out our guide on how to tell if a squishy dumpling is real, and we'll show you exactly, okay, yada yada. Oh, okay, here we go. No, okay. Where can I buy real RMS squishy dumplings? If your child has been asking for squishy dumplings, we've got you covered. At Knowledge Crates, we now carry authentic RMS squishy dumplings. We now have the rainbow mystery dumplings available for order today with the pink glitter mystery sorry, with the pink glitter mystery dumplings coming back in stock late summer/early fall. We also managed to get our hands on the now sold out Squishy Dumpling Advent Calendar, which will be available this fall. We carefully chose RMS because they're the original brand behind the trend and the one most kids are hoping to collect. Whether you're looking for a birthday surprise, a stocking stuffer, a reward, or just a fun collectible, Squishy Dumplings are an affordable way to bring a smile to your child's face. Alright, because some of these collections are expected to be in high demand during the holiday season, we recommend joining our email. Okay, this is self-promotion, we ain't doing that. I think that's about it. And I guess my thoughts on all this is wow. So basically, this is just like a regular like toy craze for this one is for Gen Alpha. Basically this is nothing new. Other like this is pretty normal. Like back in the 2010s, fidget spinners were popular. And I remember back in the 2000s, silly bands were popular. And before then, I know Pokemon cards were very like popular back in the 90s, and maybe even as late as the 2000s. And I've even had friends who collect Pokemon cards. So yeah, so basically this is just like some sort of trend and something that like people do, just some sort of like toy craze that kids are just gonna do for fun, and that's pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, we seem to know a little bit more about the squishy dumplings now. Let's talk. Let's see if I can let me change tabs here. Uh, okay, okay, here we go. All right, next we're gonna go over this safety alert that I found on YouTube, and I haven't actually watched the video just yet, so let's watch it together.
5:53 is your time and a safety alert now. There's an important new warning for a popular toy.
Yeah, Scotty, you know these toys, the squishy toys.
Yeah.
The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says the fake and counterfeit ones can pose some serious risks to children. And Mandy Gaither is explaining why social media videos are adding to the concern.
They're squishy and in shapes kids love, including animals, food, and characters. But the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says these pliable toys can put children in danger.
We are getting reports of a serious burn risk in relation to these toys.
This week, the CPSC put out this consumer warning reiterating the hazards after officials say a viral social media trend is encouraging children and teens to microwave squishy toys. The alert says
What? Where's this trend coming from? I have never seen this trend. Like, there have been some weird trends that apparently people on TikTok are finding. I have no idea where these trends are coming from because I have never seen some of these trends. And this is not the first weird, dangerous trend that I've seen that people have been talking about. People have been talking about weird, dangerous TikTok trends for basically years. And this is just the latest. I'm just thinking, where is this coming from? Who's creating this? And why? And I don't know if they're doing this on purpose, just to mess with me, or I don't know. But this is ridiculous. Something might be up with TikTok's algorithms that is making like dangerous TikTok trends, that makes dangerous trends more like popular. But I don't know why. But maybe there's like a system to it or whatever. Maybe. But I don't know what that system is.
the videos depict the toys expanding, changing texture, or bursting when heated.
Why?
No one should feel encouraged to place these toys into a microwave and heat them on purpose. It is extremely dangerous.
The agency says squishy toys in a hot car can also burst and pose a burn risk. And to date, at U.S. ports, officials say they've identified and helped prevent nearly 356,000 fake and counterfeit versions of the toy from entering the U.S. Those toys may not meet federal safety requirements, and since it's unknown what's inside those toys, they say a child could be exposed to chemicals or face inhalation or ingestion hazards. Some of the toys are filled with water beads, which can expand if swallowed and cause serious health problems.
Do not buy unbranded and unmarked versions of these toys. Know the seller, know the brand. Even if they are branded, make sure that nothing in the branding or marketing is misspelled.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Wow. Okay, let's stop that ad real quick. I don't want this ad anymore. Hold on. Okay. So, yeah, basically, apparently there's this TikTok trend going on right now, and I don't know where this trend is coming from. I've never heard of it before, and it's really scary. And bizarre, really. I just see it as bizarre. I don't know where this trend's coming from. Anyways, let's look at this next warning together.
If your kids love those squishy fidget toys like this one, the ones they can kind of squeeze for stress relief or to help them focus, you may want to take a closer look because the new Consumer Reports investigation found that some of these toys can actually break open when they're squeezed. KCRA 3's Leanne Denyer shows us how the material inside could irritate the skin or...
Okay, this one is different. Okay, this one seems to be a very different warning than before. Oh my God.
even cause chemical burns.
There are the chemical burns again.
Like kids, these bright, colorful, squishy balls are often marketed as calming sensory tools. But many parents are seeing a trend. Hundreds of one-star reviews on Amazon reporting the toys popped within an hour or broke within 2 hours of playing with it. Parents have reported the sticky gel from some toys has left kids with red, irritated, or even peeling skin. Reports filed with the federal saferproducts.gov site claim that children suffered severe skin irritation after their squishy toys burst open.
Breakage alone is a concern, but when we saw reports of kids with red or peeling skin and even chemical burn-like injuries, that really raised serious questions, and it made us want to take a look at what's inside of these.
Companies don't have to list the ingredients of what's inside these squishy toys. Some do and some don't. That's why CR scientists decided to test some of these popular squishy toys to learn more about what's inside.
All right, let's see what you
Scientists
got.
bought 8 squishy gel toys, broke them open, and tested the pH of the gel inside. 7 had a neutral pH. One of them, the Nido Groovy Glob, had a pH level of 2, which is as acidic as lemon juice or vinegar.
CR safety experts say that the level of acidity could pose a risk of chemical burns, especially on children's delicate skin. The maker of Nido challenged Consumer Reports' pH test results and says that the inner gel is made of polyvinyl alcohol, which is safer.
Polyvinyl alcohol. To the average, regular, everyday consumer, they're not going to know what that is. And I'm talking about the average, regular, everyday consumer. I'm sure people who tend to be more I'm sure people who do like research on this will probably know what it means. And but in this context, I'm not sure if that helps this company at all.
For skin contact. The company added that they've been in contact with the CPSC and that after the sale of 100 million Nido toys, there have only been 4 reports of incidents to the CPSC.
That's still 4 too many, of course. I get it. But, I mean, that's what they all say, right? Like, oh, we have very, very few reports. The fact that there are even reports at all just shows that, yeah, your product is not fully safe, and the risk, and there's always going to be that future risk, right? Because, like, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if more reports are going to come out, right? So, we'll see what happens.
TikTok trends have also been encouraging people to microwave squishy toys.
Oh, here we go again. But this time, at least we got, like, some sort of direct proof. Hold on.
TikTok trends
Okay, at least we have some evidence this time proving that someone's actually trying to microwave their squishy toys. It's like, why? What's the point? I don't understand at all.
have also been encouraging people to microwave squishy toys to make them softer. No one should ever do this.
Make them softer? What?
Reports found some toys exploded after just 15 seconds, reaching temperatures above 200 degrees. At that temperature, experts warn instant burns are likely.
These gel toys can be a lot of fun, but it's important for kids to use them safely. Never microwave or freeze them. Don't leave them in the car. Don't give gel-filled toys to babies or toddlers.
And if one does break on your child's skin, wash it off right away and throw out the toy. Leah Danier, KCRA 3 News.
I have to say, after borrowing this from our producer, Sarah, it is quite lovely.
Can I try? Yeah. Okay, hold on.
My stress has gone way down in the last half hour.
Huh, cool. All right, let me see if I can stop sharing. All right, and then like go on to like the next thing here. But, all right. But yeah, the fact that people are like microwaving all this stuff, the fact that there's some actual proof of this is freaking insane. I'm very disappointed in humanity. I really am.
Mystery boxes used to only hurt your wallet, but these little guys might cost you precious health points as well. These squishy dumpling toys are the latest mystery knick-knack to explode in popularity, with unboxing videos racking up frankly ludicrous amounts of views online. These real ones are mainly found at Showcase, but off-brand variants are everywhere, including Amazon and even Canadian Tire.
Wow.
And honestly, I see the appeal. I mean, these fellas are adorable. But the problem is, these sensory toys have a fierce stink when they're first opened, kind of like paint fumes or gasoline. The smell caused this father, Jordan Collinet, to conduct a DIY test for VOCs, or volatile...
Oh, damn. Damn, that's one dedicated parent right there. Respect to him, man.
Organic compounds, which are gases that can cause physical harm. Jordan wound up detecting so many VOCs his device wasn't able to measure them all, and that got us thinking, what would a more sensitive lab test reveal? In the name of science, I turned to Professor Paul Bozak at the University of Toronto Dalai Lama School of Public Health.
Do you recommend putting these in your mouth?
Oh my god.
First, we collected the stink from these toys by letting them sit in a plastic bag for 10 minutes. Then, we tested that gas with a VOC monitor and a fancy machine called an FTIR spectrometer, which can identify up to 20 different chemicals at a time, some of which can be harmful. We ended up testing 6 different dumplings, 2 name brand and 4 off-brand ones bought from Canadian Tire and Amazon.ca, and we found a whole bunch of VOCs in all of them. In the worst case, we detected more than 60 parts per million in one of the name brands. This guy, specifically. Now, that sounds scary, but it doesn't really mean all that much.
What?
We let VOCs build up in a sealed bag to do this test, meaning your kid playing in the living room probably won't be exposed to nearly as much. The bigger question is which VOCs are actually in that chemical soup. From our limited testing, we detected at least 4 potentially harmful chemicals in all 4 off-brands: toluene, dimethylformamide, 1,3-butanediol, and glutaraldehyde.
Yeah, that's very bad. And most Americans are probably not going to even know what these chemicals are. Maybe unless you're like a scientist or a chemist or maybe even an engineer. But other than that, I mean, yeah. It's chemicals like these is why the Maha movement exists.
We also got a whiff of formaldehyde from one sample.
Wow.
The test for the name brands came up largely inconclusive, meaning our instrument picked up chemicals it didn't recognize. But we did confirm chemicals including hydrogen chloride, vinyl chloride, and acetic acid in the brand names. Fortunately, all the chemicals we found were at levels below what smart science people consider unsafe.
Wow.
But our instrument can only detect 20 different VOCs at a time, and there are
only 20, so it might still be unsafe. That's not comforting at all.
thousands out there, so we definitely missed a few. The good news is you can avoid most of these mystery chemicals with a touch of patience.
Personally, if I was, to let my grandchild play with this, I would want it to air out for probably a week before I would say, hey, this is probably now down to levels where nobody would even be able to detect it. Never mind would I be worried about them touching or smelling what's coming off of it.
So, before you welcome these sweet little guys into your home, you should probably let these dumplings go stale first.
I never thought I would be hearing this in my life. In order for you to be able to play with your toy, you gotta make it stale. like that is funny. So anyways, let me change tabs now. All right. So we got like a couple more articles here. Don't worry, everyone. Anyways, the viral squishy toy trend has a toxic side. Are these squishies safe? From viral fruit-shaped collectibles to a Dubai squishy supermarket filled with a soft version of crisps, fruit, and household products, squishy toys are everywhere, but recent UK safety recalls and training standard warnings have raised an uncomfortable question. Are these toys as harmless as they look? Squishies are designed to be satisfying. You squeeze them, stretch them, collect them, carry them around, and watch them slowly rise back into shape. For some children, they are simply a fun novelty. For others, a fidget object can genuinely help with focus, comfort, or sensory regulation. But the current squishy boom has a less visible side. In June 2026, the UK product safety regulator recalled a squeezy dumplings toy because its outer layer contained an excess concentration of benzene, a chemical linked to irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat when inhaled. The recall was classified as a serious chemical risk. Other squishy toys have also been the subject of recent warnings and recalls over inadequate labeling, poor traceability, and concerns about their filling materials. So basically, this is a global trend, basically. That does not mean every squishy toy is toxic. It would be inaccurate and unhelpful to say that. But it does mean that parents should look beyond whether a product appears cute, popular, or even professionally packaged. A reputable retailer, a familiar brand, and a CE or UKCA mark are important checks. They are not the same thing as knowing every material in a toy, knowing how it will behave after months of squeezing, or knowing whether it is still suitable once it has been scratched, chewed, punctured, or left in a hot bedroom. This guide looks at what recent warnings actually mean, whether safety marks are enough, why squishies are so appealing, what happens when they break, and how to support sensory play without making disposable plastic and gel toys the default. Okay, so basically we got a massive guide. Why are the squishy toys suddenly everywhere? Squishy toys have moved far beyond the foam cupcake or stress ball of a few years ago. They are not designed as collectible foods, mystery toys, animals, keyrings, miniature household products, and social media friendly objects. Their appeal is instant. They are colorful, tactile, cheap enough to buy on impulse, and easy collect in multiples. The trend has become so large that Dubai now has a visible squishy supermarket concept where family grocery store products are reimagined as soft toys to squeeze, display, and collect. Crisps, fruits, drinks, snacks, and household staples become part toy, part retail spectacle, and part social media content. It's clever and it's visually irresistible, and it captures something important about modern toy culture. More and more products designed not only for play, but for the moment of discovery, collecting, and sharing online. There's nothing wrong with children enjoying a trend, but novelty does not automatically equal value. The problem starts when the product is made from a few weeks of excitement, then becomes difficult to clean, impossible to repair, and almost certain to end up in the bin. That is why squishies deserve a closer look, not because play should be joyless, but because children deserve better than mystery material toys with a very short lifespan. Yeah, that is very unfortunate. Why are squishy toys being recalled and confiscated? The recent warnings are not about every squishy toy on the market. They relate to specific products that have failed safety requirements or raised concerns during trading standards checks. In June 2026, the Office for Product Safety and Standards recalled squeezy dumplings sold by Samson's Cash and Carry Ltd. Testing found an excess concentration of benzene in the toy's outer layer. The regulator described this as a serious chemical risk and advised owners to stop using the product and keep it away from children. Benzene is a chemical trait that can irritate the eyes, nose, and throat if inhaled. Exposure to large amounts may also cause skin irritation and a burning feeling in the digestive tract if swallowed. That recall matters because it shows how a toy that looks soft, cute, and harmless can still fail chemical safety requirements. Trading standards teams have also warned about squishy toys that have strong chemical or petrol-like smells, missing manufacturer or importer information, poor or incomplete safety labeling, no traceable batch, product, or supplier details, packaging that appears unprofessional, incomplete, or misleading. There have also been warnings about certain squishy and stretchy toys that contain sand-like fillings. Earlier in 2026, squishy sausage dog and pug toys were recalled after concerns that the sand inside may have been contaminated with asbestos. Again, that does not mean all squishies contain benzene, asbestos, or other dangerous substances. It does show why parents should not assume that a popular, familiar-looking, or professionally packaged product is automatically low risk. The concern is not only about one bad toy, it is about a trend built around products that are often cheap, heavily handled, easily damaged, and difficult for parents to assess once they are out of the packaging. Do CE and UKCA marks guarantee that squishy toys are safe? No. Those marks are important, but they don't guarantee that a squishy toy is chemical free, safe for a child to mouth, or harmless once it splits, leaks, or begins to degrade. In Great Britain, toy manufacturers must ensure that toys meet essential safety requirements before they are placed on the market. These rules cover foreseeable use, including the behavior of children, as well as mechanical, chemical, flammability, hygiene, and other safety risks. That matters. A toy with no clear safety information, no traceable manufacturer or importer, and no appropriate marking should raise concern. But safety marking is not a complete answer to every parent question. A CE or UKCA does not tell you every ingredient used in a foam, gel, fragrance, and blah blah blah. It does not mean the toy is free from all chemicals, it does not mean the item is intended to be chewed, and it does not mean a damaged toy remains suitable for use. There's another important issue. Counterfeiters can copy markings very closely. A symbol that looks like a genuine CE or UKCA mark is not by itself proof that the product has gone through the compliance process it claims to have. That is why parents should treat CE or UKCA markings as one useful check, alongside packaging, traceability, condition, smell, and the way the toy is actually used at home. A safety mark is a baseline. It's not a promise that a toy is chemical-free, counterfeit-proof, safe to chew, or suitable to keep once damaged. How can parents spot a potentially unsafe squishy toy? Parents should not have to become product safety investigators before every birthday party or after-school treat, but there are a few warning signs worth taking seriously. Be careful when a squishy toy has any of the following: a price that seems too good to be true, a strong and unusual smell, no packaging at all, spelling mistakes or missing information, no named manufacturer, importer, or contact details, no clear age guidance or warnings, a sticky, oily, or deteriorating surface. Okay, these are pretty self-explanatory. Buying from an established retailer can reduce the risk of an untraceable or counterfeit item, but it does not remove every concern about a toy's materials, lifespans, or suitability for a particular child. That distinction matters. Bought from a reputable source and something I am comfortable with my child holding, chewing, sleeping beside, or squeezing every day are not exactly the same question. Are squishy toys safe once they are damaged, chewed, or leaking? A squishy toy that is intact is not the same as a squishy toy that is split, sticky, punctured, chewed, or leaking. These toys are designed around repeated pressure. They are squeezed, stretched, twisted, carried in pockets, and sometimes scratched with fingernails. Over time, seams can weaken, coatings can wear down, and internal gels, beads, or sand-like fillings can become exposed. Once that happens, the situation changes. A child may no longer be touching a sealed outer surface. They may be touching, inhaling, or putting an unknown internal material near the mouth. This is especially relevant for children who mouth toys, bite objects when they are concentrating or anxious, or use objects for oral sensory stimulation. A standard squishy is not the same as a purpose-designed chew tool. If a child needs something to chew, it is better to choose an age-appropriate sensory product made specifically for that purpose, rather than relying on an ordinary toy that was only intended to be squeezed. Stop using the squishy toy if it leaks, tears, or splits, smells strongly, becomes unusually sticky. Basically, the same thing, the same list as before. Basically, you all get the idea. Oh, we have to talk about this as well because people have been doing this. Never microwave, freeze, or deliberately heat squishy toys. Trading standards have also warned about a dangerous social media trend encouraging children to microwave squishy toys to make them softer. Do not do this. Heating a gel-filled or plastic squishy can cause it to melt or burst, releasing hot material that can cause burns. The toy may also release fumes or become impossible to handle safely. If you think a toy may be unsafe, stop your child using it straight away. Contact the retailer or trader where it was bought and report concerns through your local trading standards service. Why do children and adults use squishies? This part of conversation needs care. Not every child who loves a squishy toy has sensory processing differences. Sometimes it is simply a fun, satisfying object. But for some children, teenagers, and adults, a fidget or tactile item can have a genuine role in helping them regulate, focus, or feel calmer. A squishy may provide pressure through the hands, repetitive movement while listening or concentrating, a familiar texture during a busy or overwhelming moment, a way to manage restlessness while sitting still, a small focus point during school, travel, work, or social situations, a comfortable routine or object. Basically, these squishy objects serve as some sort of a distraction to stress, so that way they can focus more and calm down. That's what they are. Those needs are real. The answer should not be to shame children for fidgeting or to remove every support tool simply because it was made from plastic. But it is worth separating the need from the product format. A child who benefits from squeezing something may not specifically get a food-shaped gel toy. They may need resistance, movement, texture, pressure, predictability, or a quiet activity for their hands. That gives families more options than repeatedly buying disposable trend-led squishies. What are better sensory alternatives to squishy toys? The most useful alternative depends on what sensation the child or adult is actually seeking. Instead of asking, what squishy should we buy next, try asking, what's helping here? So we got a list right here. So what the person may be seeking, what a squishy may provide, longer life alternatives to consider, pressure through the hands, resistance while squeezing, and cork massage ball, durable therapy ball, securely made fabric beanbag, hand strength exercises. So basically, they're trying to come up with alternatives to some of the benefits to squishy toys. So that's what this list is. Busy hands while you're listening, repetitive fidgeting, wooden worry stone, smooth metal fidget, woven. Yeah, this list is pretty long, and to be honest with you, I don't really use squishy toys as much, so this isn't going to benefit me in any way. But if you are willing to check out, but if you have time but are willing to check out the article for yourself, I will be putting it in the link in the description below so that you all can check it out for yourself. For younger children, safety still comes first. Avoid loose pieces, splinter-prone objects, and homemade sensory items that could create choking or chewing risks. And do not assume that natural automatically means safe. A wooden object may be durable and easy to pass on, but it still needs to be well made, age appropriate, and suitable for how a child will actually use it. And not to mention, depending on how you cut the wood, it can actually become really sharp. Or you can get like wood cuts. So yeah, wood is not automatically safe. You gotta make sure you make it safe. For children with significant sensory needs, it's usually better to introduce alternatives gradually. Notice when the squishy is used, what sensation it seems to provide, and whether another object or activity meets the same need. The goal is to not make sensory play less accessible, it's to make it less disposable. Can squishy toys be recycled? In most cases, not through normal household recycling. Squishy toys are often made from combinations of synthetic foam, ooh, that's pretty bad, soft plastic, paint, coatings, glitter, gel, beads, sand-like fillings, packaging, and sometimes added fragrance. Once these materials are combined, especially in a damaged toy, they are difficult to separate and recycle properly. UK curbside recycling systems are generally designed for specific packaging formats such as bottles, pots, tubs, and trays. They are not designed for mixed material toys with unknown fillers, coatings, or gel inside. Once a squishy is dented, sticky, torn, or leaking, it is also unlikely to be suitable for donation or resale. It cannot usually be repaired. It rarely has spare parts, and because its value is often tied to a short-lived trend, its appeal can disappear almost as quickly as it arrived. In practice, most damaged squishies end up in general waste. Okay, so basically these toys might not be good for the environment. That does not mean every plastic toy is automatically bad. A plastic toy that is used for years, shared between siblings, repaired where possible, and passed on can have a very different footprint from a novelty item bought in multiples, used briefly, and discarded when it fails. The more useful questions are, will this still be played within 6 months? Can this be easily cleaned? Can it be repaired, donated, or passed on? Will it survive ordinary child use? Does it meet a real play or sensory need? What will happen when it eventually breaks? A toy does not have to be perfectly plastic-free to be worthwhile, but when it cannot be safely kept, cleaned, repaired, passed on, or recycled, it was never designed for a long time. How to buy toys more thoughtfully without taking the fun away. No parent needs another impossible shopping rule. Childhood should include fun, treats, and spontaneous moments. The aim is not to make every toy purchase feel like a research project. It is to reduce the number of short-lived mystery material objects that quickly become clutter and waste. So basically, they're trying to make sure to teach parents to buy toys responsibly, just so that way their child can have fun and have what he needs while saving a few bucks. And basically keeping your health, and basically try not to get any health risks while doing it. So, hold on, I need to get a drink real quick. Sorry about that. Alright, choose fewer toys with a longer useful life. A small number of toys that are genuinely used and loved often creates more play than a large pile of novelty purchases. Building sets, books, puzzles, dolls, vehicles, art materials, dress-up clothes, games, and outdoor equipment can all stay useful for years. Buy for the child, not for the trend. Yeah, that should be obvious, right? But it's not. Ask what your child actually enjoys. Do they want something soft, something to squeeze, a collectible, a reward, a calming object for school? The answer may point to a longer-lasting option than the viral product everyone else is talking about. Prioritize traceability and clean information. Look for a named manufacturer or importer, appropriate markings, age guidance, warnings, and packaging that explains what the product is. Be cautious about toys with no packaging, no contact details, poor spelling, or a strong chemical smell. Think twice before making novelty toys the default reward. A small treat can be fun, but when every outing ends with another plastic collectible, homes fill with products that are hard to store, hard to recycle, and easy to forget. Oh yeah, that type of thing is usually applied to like basically almost anything in life, so it's not just toys. Non-toy rewards can still feel special, choosing a recipe, visiting the library, picking a craft activity, going to the park, choosing a secondhand book, or having time to do something together. Huh, okay, cool. Consider secondhand for toys built to last. Secondhand building toys, books, puzzles, wooden toys, games, dolls, and outdoor equipment can be excellent value. Avoid anything that is damaged, strongly scented, visibly degrading, or unsuitable for your child's age. Do not assume wood is automatically the answer. Wooden toys can be durable, repairable, and easy to pass on, but wooden is not a magic safety or sustainability label. Look for solid construction, appropriate finishes, clear product information, and toys that can genuinely suit your child. Frequently asked questions about squishy toy safety. Are squishy toys safe for children? Some squishy toys may meet toy safety requirements, while others have been recalled or flagged as unsafe. Parents should look for clear safety information, traceable manufacturer or importer details, age guidance, and appropriate conformity markings. Stop using any toys that smell strongly, leaks, splits, becomes sticky, or has exposed filling. Are all squishy toys toxic? No, it would be inaccurate to say all squishy toys are toxic. Recent UK warnings relate to specific recalled counterfeit or non-compliant products. However, a legally sold toy is not automatically chemical-free, suitable, or mouthing long-lasting or recyclable. Can squishy toys contain benzene? A June 2026 UK recall found an excess concentration of benzene in the outer layer of a specific dumplings toy. That does not mean all squishy toys contain benzene, but it is reasonable to take recalls, strong chemical smells, and poor traceability smells. Do CE and UKCA marks mean squishy toys are safe? These marks are important indicators that a manufacturer says the toy meets applicable requirements. They are not a guarantee that a toy is chemical-free, impossible to counterfeit, safe for children to chew, or harmless once it becomes damaged. What should I do if a squishy toy smells like petrol or chemicals? Stop using it, keep it away from children, and do not try to heat it, air it out, cut it open, or repair it. Contact the retailer or trade where it was bought and report concerns through your local trading standards service. Can I microwave a squishy? Oh my god. No! Heating a squishy toy can cause it to melt or burst, releasing hot gel or other materials that may cause burns. Do not microwave, freeze, cut open, or deliberately heat squishy toys. Can squishy toys be recycled? Usually not through curbside recycling. Most are mixed material items containing plastic, foam, paint, gel, or fillers. Check with your local council, but damaged squishies will commonly need to go into general waste. What are good alternatives? Choose alternative based on the sensation need. A child who likes pressure may prefer a durable ball or beanbag. Someone who needs movement may benefit more from climbing, skipping, resistance bands, or wall pushes. For quiet fidgeting, a wooden worry stone, woven fidget, or purpose-designed sensory tool may work better. The biggest point: sensory needs deserve better than disposable trends. Children do not play less, they do not need less comfort, less movement, or less sensory stimulation. They need products that support those needs without turning every moment of regulation into another short-lived plastic purchase. A reliable retailer, a known supplier, and proper safety information are essential. They are the bare minimum, but they do not answer every question about how a toy is made about what a toy is made from, how it will be used, how long it will last, or where it will end up once the novelty fades. That is why it is worth looking beyond the squishy trend, not because every child needs a perfectly plastic-free toy box, but because a toy that cannot be safely kept, cleaned, repaired, passed on, or recycled was never designed for a very long time. And children deserve better than a few weeks of novelty followed by years of waste. So basically, this was a very detailed article about squishy toys in the United Kingdom. And yeah, this was actually very informative. We got to make sure that the toys are actually safe. Labels are useful, but parental involvement will still need to be. Parental involvement will still be needed. You got to make sure that that you're able to actually trust the sources that you're getting your squishy toys from. And yeah, quite frankly, just airing it out is not always a good idea. And obviously that's going to depend on the product that's going to depend on the product, of course. So overall, yeah, be careful with squishy toys. And you know what? Let's go over this last article about this topic. How to tell if your kids' squishy toys are fake. Remember that toy or trend that was a must-have growing up? Furby. Oh, I forgot about Furby. Oh, yeah. Tamagotchi. I've heard about it, but I've never really owned Tamagotchi. Fidget spinners. Oh, yes, of course, fidget spinners. Yeah, like I mentioned before. To name a few. Well, one of the latest among kids is squishy toys. But local authorities are now warning consumers and businesses to look out for unregulated counterfeits after some were found to contain toxic chemicals. Now, we can have this debate about whether or not we need to have regulations on toxic chemicals to ensure the health and safety of the public. So, but I think, in my personal opinion, I do think we need to have some sort of regulations. Not really sure which ones necessarily, but we do need to have at least some. But obviously, we don't need to do it go overboard to the point to where life becomes miserable. But just enough to ensure that products are safe, and we can live our lives. That's my opinion on it. But local authorities are now warning consumers. Oh yeah, I reread this part. It comes after the Office for Product Safety and Standards, OPSS, issued a national recall for a brand of toy known as Squeezy Dumplings. Okay, so this is another article related to the UK, which is not surprising considering that this is the BBC. There are many others and plenty of counterfeits too, which trading standards say can bypass routine safety checks and contain unknown ingredients. The BBC has been to take a look at some seized products to help you learn how to spot a fake. In recent weeks, Oxfordshire and Berkshire trading standards have seized a large number of squishy toys, including fake replicas of the popular brand Nido. Oh, Nido! Yeah, we actually heard about this earlier in the episode. Oh, Nido, you're screwed. You are big screwed. With the company also issuing a warning over counterfeit versions of their products. During a seizure in Oxford, one shop was found with more than 80 fake squishy toys, including 71 Nido Nice Cubes. Nido Nice Cubes? Hold on a minute. Nido Nice Cubes. I want to see what this, I think we might have already seen this, but just in case we haven't. Wow. So that's what they look like. Huh. Pretty interesting. And, okay. They look almost like Play-Doh, so I guess that's okay. Nothing too special with these. Alright. They should have the name and address of the UK importer on there. Mark, who is a trading standards officer, said that this is one of the first things to look out for. It's Big Jig's Toys. I'm sorry. Big Jigs. Oh my god. Big Jigs. That is such a funny name. It's Big Jig's Toys who are the importers of the genuine Nido products, and these ones haven't got their details on there. Their growing concern is that because these products don't have a UK address, they are therefore unregulated and may have not been tested for harmful substances. Oh, damn. That actually sucks. So, obviously, here's a photo of the dumpling again, and there's concerns about benzene, of course. Seems to be the most common chemical in these products. Mark said that although they hadn't yet tested the toys seized in Oxford, they have found products that hadn't been tested in the past to contain chemicals like benzene. You know what? Wait a minute. I know there have been concerns about products being contain benzene, but I don't think people wonder why do they have benzene in the first place? Why do the chemicals why are these chemicals in there in the first place? I mean, these chemicals aren't there for no reason, right? You know what? I kind of want to look this up myself. you know what? Let me do some research real quick. Why is benzene important? I want to know, why is benzene important in the first place? Okay, I know Google is not the most reliable resource, so keep this in mind, but we're going to use Google's AI overview for this one because it does seem to show up. Benzene is a fundamental building block in the chemical industry. It serves as the vital starting material to manufacture plastics, resins, nylons, synthetic rubber, dyes, detergents, and drugs. It is also added to gasoline to improve engine performance. So basically, those are the reasons why benzene is used in our products in the first place, because benzene does actually end up playing an important role. So for those of you that are wondering why benzene is being added into our products into the first place, that's why. And I think the same thing might be said to apply. The same thing might be applied to other chemicals as well. That doesn't mean they're safe when you use too much of it, though. So keep that in mind. The concern. Oh wait, did I forget to Oh no, I think I accidentally switched to the wrong tab. Where was I again? Mark said that although. Okay, I think we already read that. And some of the squishy toys have been found to contain phthalates in the paths as well. Phthalates are a group of chemicals used to make plastics and are often called plasticizers. The UK government regulates these as hazardous chemical substances, but are still used in cosmetics, fragrances, and food packaging. Consumers in Berkshire are also being advised to stop using any squishy toy that leaks, splits, or becomes damaged, and never to heat, microwave, or tamper with them, following a TikTok trend that has left people with burns. I still don't understand why people are resorting to this trend in the first place. This doesn't make sense. And apparently Big Jig toys were popular as well. There have also been concerns raised from campaigners for children with special education needs and disabilities, SEND, who are often recommended to use fidget-type squishy toys to help them feel calm and regulated. Claire Branner, who is a SEND campaigner from Oxfordshire, said she was concerned that these toys could be harmful because neurodivergent children can be really attached to sensory inputs, like squishy toys. It will be neurodivergent children, I think, who are disproportionately going to use them, really want to engage with them, and potentially mouthing them. I'm very grateful the council are taking a rightly precautionary approach and making sure they're taken off the market. Despite some obvious spelling mistakes with some of the products, including the word stupid spelt supted. What? That actually got slipped through the cracks? Wow. There are other signs to look out for. Mark says retailers and consumers should look to see if the product has UKCA or CE mark on it, a product certification requirement for Great Britain. But lots of counterfeit toys have also have these marks on them, which is when you need to look again for a UK address. If you can't see anything, ask the retailer who the manufacturer or importer is, because they should be able to tell you if they can't, and if they can't, avoid buying them. Mark couldn't comment as to whether they were seeing a rise in counterfeit toys, but said that they often enter the high street when a new craze starts, when unscrupulous traders can see an angle to get into the market. They're going to look to copy products that are selling well. So, yeah, that's basically what's been going on with squishy toys, and to be honest, it's freaking crazy how unsafe these toys are, or how unsafe some of these toys are. So, yeah, I'm honestly at a loss for words, and I know I've been reading a lot. I am so sorry about this, but I found this as really, really interesting, and yeah. And with that being said, I'm actually not sure how much time we have left, but you know what? I'm thinking about ending this episode here. I know I did say that I was going to talk about something else in this episode, but to be honest with you, I feel like we've been going on for a while now. I think we're almost at the hour point, and to be honest, I kind of don't feel like talking about this other thing today. So with that being said, if you all have enjoyed, please hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, type a comment for any suggestions that you may have, and hit the notification bell just so that way you can get any new updates on the Political Freedom Fighters podcast. And I guess one last thing I do need to go over is I actually received an email recently about some company who wants to help build small YouTube channels like mine, and I won't name who it is because I'm not sure if this is a scam or not, but You know what? Maybe I should show you the email? Can I do that? You know what? I think I should show you the email as well, just in case. So, yeah. I just received this email recently, and I want to know if you guys believe this is legit or not. I'm not sure. Question for Political Freedom Fighters. Hi, Political Freedom Fighters. I just checked out your YouTube channel, your YouTube video about my interview with Bo Whitehead. So, yeah. So basically, they checked out one of my previous episodes, and this episode containing Bo Whitehead, who is running for U.S. House District 8 as a Green, and yeah, and wanted to reach out. I'm actually reaching out on behalf of fellow creators ZTH Training. We've got about 1 million followers on multiple platforms, and our founder, Harris, is now helping other creators along with our team. We're really confident we can help make you more revenue consistently by scaling or launching an online course or community and growing your audience. I know that's a bold claim, but we have a ton of results. An online course? Ooh. Yo. An online course. Yo, if I could do online courses for third parties and independents, I mean, hey, that'd be awesome. I know that's a bold claim, but we have a ton of results. We got millions of followers and made over 7 figures with our personal brands ourselves. Our other co-founder personally recorded a quick video for you to say hello and explain how it works, and asked me again to send you this message. And I have watched the video myself, and they actually pulled up my channel, so that's pretty cool. Whether or not this is legit, though, we'll have to wait and see. We've helped many other creators just like yourself and have a proven track record. We're sending this message because we think we can do the same for you, and that you have a ton of value to provide to your audience. We also do all of this on a results-based model, and if we're a fit, we have a guarantee. That's how much we believe in what we do. I'd love to learn more about your goals and your personal brand moving forward. Would you be open to scheduling a call this week so we can discuss? And yeah, I actually did set up a meeting like tomorrow morning with them. I want to see if this is real or not, but I'm not sure if this is real or if this is not. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And to be honest, with that being said, I think I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you all later. Peace.